Greetings and welcome, fellow YouTubers out there. Today we are looking at some of the games that we played over the past week, such as Just in Time, Time Carnage and Killing Floor. Also, Project Borealis has confirmed the Half-Life 3 update. The Half-Life 3 update has been confirmed. And also we had a quick look at the 48-hour film challenge first entry that was out yesterday. So all this coming up on this week's weekly update. Okay, first up on our time-centered theme hit list, we have Just in Time. Now, Just in Time is a sort of a puzzle game, very much like, let's say, Superhot meets Minecraft. Well, in Superhot, everything sort of goes in slow motion, and when you move, so does everything else around you. And you have to try and work out how to defeat all the bad guys. However, in Just in Time, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work to your own movement. It is at a constant pace, a snail's pace, very slow snail's pace, but it is a little bit faster than the standstill movements from Superhot, but not as fast as when you go in full motion. So it tries to create its own little balance there, so it's not mimicking Superhot. As for the Minecraft element, well, yeah, it is very blocky, and I guess it has gone for that sort of art style. But it doesn't detract from the actual gameplay itself. The gameplay is quite interesting, actually, because you can grab a whole host of things from the environment, such as like bullets, people's clothing, rockets from midair. It is quite fun and interesting gameplay, although I must admit I did get a little bit stuck on the fire building area, where even though that I put down the inflatable rafts on the ground, they tend to hit it at a much greater force than than before, and end up flying into space. So I'm not too sure how that happens. I don't really know why they started flying off into space, and in fact I probably ended up doing more damage to the people than the ground would have. But it would have been cool if so I am going to try and see if I can play around with that a little bit, try and see if I can figure out what's going on. But it did have some other nice little features there, such as play around with the developers, which were two people created that game, and I think they've done a bang up good job. I mean, that game is much more better than some of the proper developers that are out there at the moment. For something to be created just by two people, kudos, good work. And the game itself, highly recommend. It is a good game to play. Definitely recommend it. Next up, we have Time Carnage. Now, this, from the previous game, which I thought was really good, to this game, which I think was god awful. It was just a wave shooter, a shooting gallery, and nothing else. I mean, when you look at the picture, look at the caption that comes with it, the box art, as you say. Have a look at that box art. Tell me, does that box art make you think you're running around with dinosaurs and shooting at things like T-Rexes or Velociraptors? That's what it looks like. That might have been cool if I could have actually gotten to that. I played through the entire first chapter, and that was all based in some zombie apocalyptic future, where a virus has basically killed off humanity, and we were just trying to shoot them all, just like I said, wave after wave after wave of shooters, and that was it. There looked like there was other levels, other chapters which needed to be unlocked, but it gave no hint of how to unlock them. I played through the entire first chapter. I played a couple of games in ultra hard mode. Do I need to collect stars? Do I need to get a certain level of points? It does not say. For as far as I'm concerned, it might be just a future chapter that you may need to pay when it comes out about several months down the line. I don't know. It doesn't say, and it just does not confirm what it is. And being honest, I really can't be bothered to go onto the internet and just do a quick browse through or look up on Google for something that should be right there. Do I need to do the entire lot in ultra hard mode? Do I need to purchase DLC? Is there something that's going to come out later? Please state. Don't just put up a massive padlock and hinting at things like, oh, this is like a carrot that we're supposed to be unlocking later, but give no clue or exception. Even the words "coming soon" would have been appreciated, but no, you just had a padlock and nothing else. So I'm putting this game as a steer clear. It doesn't show what it's got on the box art, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if you guys might have unlocked the padlocked area, the second chapter, third or fourth, or completed the game, but I can't see what I need to do. And I don't really think this thing is designed to be a puzzler to work out what you need to do to try and get to the next level. I think it's just very poorly designed. And then the gameplay itself, all that it is you just teleport to an area and then hordes of monsters come at you and you're supposed to shoot them. I did do one thing that was good that I kind of liked, was the whole how you had the weapon system. You had 4 weapons that you chose from, and you can like just reach out to your sides or reach out forwards to grab the weapon, and when you want to reload it, you just press the drop button and it goes back to the store and it starts reloading itself automatically. So I always kept like one gun fully loaded whilst I'm fine with the other gun. So when that one finished, dropped it, started using my other hands, and then pull up a third gun, so that I would always have one reloading, one that I'm currently using, and one as reserve. And I thought I got pretty much a good swap going. But then when some of like the bigger baddies come out, or I started getting overwhelmed, I started like grabbing and just firing like mad with both weapons, and then when they drop off, just quickly swept over for the next one. I kind of liked that part, and then I think that was the best part of the entire game, really. But what's that saying about the game? That the best part of it is its reload mechanic? Is swapping weapons? How does that reflect on the game? Yes, they did it good for the reload, but they did absolutely terrible for everything else. I didn't see much in the way of glitches though. Not really much in the way of glitches, but there wasn't anything really there to glitch about. So yeah, I certainly recommend avoiding this one, unless you just want a zombie style wave shooter. But then again, there you go. Third up, we have Killing Floor. I kind of like this game. I mean, the full gameplay can be done within about 4 hours. If you like playing free if you like trying to go yeah, if you know what you're doing, you can possibly do it in free. I think I did somewhere like 3 hours and 20 minutes when I did the co-op version. But what I did up here earlier was just a standard single player, just to see how far, just to get through to a couple of levels, just to give it a try out. The single player version, it was actually kind of interesting. The storyline is good. I do like the storyline with this, where you seem to be this agent, but therefore it goes all haze on you. Now, I'm not going to give you spoilers. watch my co-op playthrough if you want to see the spoiler. Want to see spoilers while I play through the entire game. But I'll put that out next week actually. So yeah, the game starts off with you in this training room, and you're getting a briefing about how the world's gone to pot, but our company is trying to put everything back together again. And then you go off and you start shooting like zombies and stabbing. I'm going to tell you about the gripes on this first. The gripes, firstly, there's not enough ammo. In fact, because the ammo was so limited and you ran out of it so quickly, I kind of gave up on the weapons, such like shotgun or assault rifle or even the pistol. They were my backup weapons as a just in case. My main weapons, when I got them, were what I call pole arms. I went mostly for melee combat. So starting off, you got two daggers that you use like swipe around, stabby, just killing things just by swiping, stabbing, cutting, slashing. Now, in fact, I actually got into a movement where I just put the knives crossed at the zombie's throat, and when I sliced it like that, their heads would go flying off. It was actually kind of cool. But yeah, I would upgrade the knives to the pole arms, not the axe. Now I noticed, I did first start using the axe when it came out, but I think that the axe was a bit of a degrade of a weapon over the knives. The reason being is, let's just say the knives, you've got something that's like that long, and it's all damage. However, the axe is something that's that long there, but only the tip does damage. Anything on the handle, if you hit enemies with the handle, it's just the same as punching them. But if you hit them with the axe bit at the end, the metal plate, the metal sharpened area, you know, the bit that does the cutting, it actually does the cutting. And so I think that was quite good the way they designed that. So that on the axe, the head actually does the damage, whilst the pole doesn't do hardly anything. So that's quite good when they designed it like that. So it was either use the short knives, ignore the axe because I found that wasn't really that great to use, or the pole arms. Now, the pole arms were a special type of item that the enemies dropped if they used them, but you can't keep the pole arms. Now what it is you get an enemy that will come at you with a very, very long blade attached to a couple of arms, and if you slice them up, if you slice up the enemy, the arm would drop, and then you could pick up the arm. So when you pick up the arm, you'll see like a massive blade that goes on for like about a foot or so, but much bigger than the axe itself, and it is all damaged. And if you find two of them, you can hold one in each arm, and you become like a rotating blades of scissor death and destroying anything that will come near you. Which I think was cool. Sometimes when they just line up in front of you, when you get like the hordes of them piling on top of you, I don't bother with the guns. I just start going start wailing my arms about and just rushing straight in there, decapitating, slicing, vivisecting and destroying everything that gets in my way. And that goes down to the move controllers as well. Still, we're trying to use the old move controllers here, but there is a way of activating free movement on here. So if you know me, I'm all for the free movement. I do like the free movement. So the left move button just makes you go forward, and you've got to tilt the joystick left or right to start sidestepping left or right, or veering down the road. And that was it was... This is what I think has become the standard norm for trying to do free movement with the Move controllers. Yeah, it's annoying that you can't backpedal. It's annoying that you can't do proper strafing. That will only ever come about once we finally get analog sticks onto those Move controllers, or do a proper update, and they need a proper update because they haven't had one for a while yet. But yeah, coming out once that. Yeah, as I said, when you got those pole arms, they can really slice up anything. But when you got to like the big boss at the ends, it's basically all guns blazing, really. Yeah, so I thought that Killing Floor was pretty decent. Out of 10, I give it a good, let's say 7/8. I don't like the fact that it is that they do a lot of just going into a room and then just getting thrown loads of enemies. So it's like you go into a room, 100 enemies come in, and you've got to decapitate them or kill them all before you can move on to the next room. And I do mean hundreds of enemies. This is what I'm saying about the ammo. You don't have enough ammo to shoot all the people around. That's why you have to constantly go around trying to find the ammo to pick up. But as I said, I just use a melee object and just slice them all up and get on. There's plenty of health around the place as well, in case you start like running low on health. But yeah, as I was saying, with the yeah, you just go into an area and they just throw hundreds and hundreds of people at you. And it becomes just, like I said, a glorified shooting gallery when it does that, or slice and dice them up. However, I have kind of determined that because of the way that I've been handling the melee combat in here, I think that Killing Floor is one of the more destructive games that are out there at the moment. And when I mean destructive games, I mean games that involve me swinging my arms around and knocking things off the shelves. I found out at one point I ended up trying to actually stab the couch that was at my feet. I accidentally knocked a couple of Coke cans off the sideboards and so. I mean, I don't really do that with many of the other games, but it really involves a lot of hard swinging and a lot of hard stabbing and a lot of hard motions going around. And in fact, it really was quite intense at a few times, because you're just flailing every which way but loose, which is fun. It's fun and awesome when you do things like that. Not if you're a light bulb though. No, you do kind of lose a couple of light bulbs, unfortunately. You do go through a few, especially when you start doing the overharms or the blockings. But yeah, this game, even though it was quite wild swings, was relatively ceiling light bulb friendly. However, not side ornaments friendly. Do a lot of dashing things. Yeah, as I said, a good game. Recommend it. Love it. If you don't mind the odd shooting gallery experience. And a good little co-op going on there as well. Now, I did the co-op on my Twitch stream on Saturday with a couple of people, and so I'm going to be uploading that to my YouTube channel over the week. Unless you want to go and see it on my Twitch channel yourself, help you free, help yourself. But yeah, hopefully I'll put that up as one thing during the week. Cool. And I think that is that for the moment. Next up, we're just having a little look at my footnotes script. Next up, yesterday we had the first 48-hour challenge video. Now, I'm starting off things light here. This was a light little comedy, 5 minutes long, about it was called A Small Price to Pay, and it was the struggle of a person going through an automated system where everything just seems to be going from bad to worse. You can actually at one point start seeing him slowly losing his sanity whilst listening to that voice, that music, which I'm sure that we all do when we like put on hold for such a long time. But yeah, as I said, starting it off light. Next week we will be kicking it up a notch, so I do apologise if this video really wasn't up to par and standard, but like I said, it's the palette cleanser. We're going to be kicking it up a notch with next week, which is, what have we got for next week? I just made a note of it. Sorry, what we got going next week. It might help if I realise I was looking at a picture. Where is it? Ah, yes, here we go. Yeah, what we've got going next week is a video called An Absence of Feeling. Now, An Absence of Feeling is about these two people that are currently being tested to see of their worthiness to join the next colony ship to Tau Ceti, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's based in the future where population of Earth has just been too extensive and now they need to expand their population. But more about that next Saturday at 8 PM. Okay. Welcome to the video, people. This section here I'm going to be talking about Half-Life 3, the Half-Life 3rd update confirmed. Well, I have been saying for almost forever, well, okay, not forever, for a long time, Half-Life 3 will be created. Oh, sorry, that's my camera guide. Half-Life 3 will be created. Oh, no, Valve will not create it. They're making too much money by selling other people's software, and Half-Life 3 has just gone too big that it's just now born to fail. So no one would ever go in there, because to do it will be financial suicide. I've heard it all, and I have never wavered one bit. I say Half-Life 3 will be created. If it's not going to be created because of Valve doesn't want to create it anymore, well, I'm sure Valve does want to create it. They just haven't been able to because, as you said, they're probably busy having baths in cash-filled tubs full of other people's money whilst playing games. But yeah, they're yeah. If Valve are not going to make it, someone else will. It is just such a big thing that it cannot not be made. It will be made at some point in time. And now it looks like it's currently in development. A group of fan people, well, you can't really say it's a fan because one of the people that's in here is a former developer inside Valve who worked on the previous games. But a group of people have created a project called Project Borealis. Now, I'll put the note down in the description here. We don't know if they've got the full go-ahead yet from Valve, because Valve haven't yet decided to shut them down, but they are currently pushing out graphics, gameplay, sorry, not gameplay yet. They're pushing out the graphics, concept design. They're recreating the engines. Well, not recreating, they're using different engines, but they are working towards creating Half-Life 3. Chapter 3, Episode 3, Half-Life 3, they are working towards making the third title in this series. And as you can, like I said, I'll put the link down in the description, and as you might see down there, I'll be playing a little bit of a silent video of some of their concept design, some of their arts you see down there that they're working on. They've already created like this warehouse, which is where they're testing the graphics and visual representation of all the wonderful stuff. And going forward, they are creating and working towards making Half-Life 3 a reality. Now, the thing that we are fearing, which I hopefully we don't have to worry too much, is that at any point, Valve can literally pull the plug on this and say, nope, sorry, we don't want you to do it. But if they say that, does that mean they've got something in their own plan, something of their own plan? However, Valve is not really known for just pulling a plug on other people's software. They like to push out, they like to let other people do fan-based stuff. I mean, for example, take Hunt Down the Freeman, probably one of the worst games that have been out there on Steam, and yet it wasn't made by Valve. It looked like a totally fan-based game. And it was put on Steam by Valve, so therefore they pretty much gave it their guarantee. They gave them full cooperation by not taking it off. So therefore, I think that Project Borealis is going to be a positive sign. It's a positive development in the way of Half-Life 3. Like I said, check out the video. I'm going to pause this for a moment and have a little something. Oops. Sorry about that, my camera's power just died out on me for a moment there, and I was just wondering, why was this thing not charging? And I found out why. It's that the yeah, I actually need to plug the camera into the power socket. It certainly helps. Yeah, but that is Project Borealis, all in a nutshell. Is a group of people, or should I say team, Project Borealis. There's a team of people that are currently working on creating Half-Life 3. They've got a lot, as you can see down there in the screen that I'm posting down there. They've got a lot of concept arts design that's ongoing at the moment. They've done some music, music that they're working on. They're also working on things like the animations and lighting and designing. They're basically just trying to build up their Unreal Engine's physics properties and prospects. Just building the entire game from the ground up, and at the moment they do need some help. They need some help from new people. Now they've put out some job listings for people, you know, like Unreal developers, 3D graphics engineers and designers. So I'll just put up a little screenshot down here. As you can see, these are the current roles that they're currently hiring out for. So if you think that you can help with any of those, I know I'm going to see if I can put my oar in, see if I can help out in any of them. But if you think that you can help out in any of those, by all means, apply to their website. Try and say, hey, I want to be the next stage in human gaming evolution. I want to try and create Half-Life 3. We've been waiting for it for so long, and I've got some skills in these areas, and I'm willing to help out on these on this side. So if you want to help out with the creation of Half-Life 3, check them out as well. You might have some skills that they'll need. So yeah, that's Project Borealis, and I think that's that for our listings today. So let's just have a look. Yeah, done the 3 games just in time. Carnage, Killing, the 48-hour film challenge. Half-Life 3, a little just a brief description on Project Borealis. Yeah, so that's that for this week. Sorry to trying to keep this short, but I need to be getting this updated and uploaded. Don't forget, next week I've got a couple of more things that I've been looking at. I've already done some streams on Twitch, which I'm going to be uploading over the next week. Next week we're going to be looking at Killing Floor cooperative. So I had one of my friends help me out with doing the first part, and after he had to go for other reasons, I just jumped onto the internet and got someone else to help me finish out the Killing Floor cooperative level. So I'll be uploading that to YouTube. What else have we got that's coming up next week? Oh yeah, Floor Plan. I've done a complete walkthrough of Floor Plan. When I mean a complete walkthrough, it took me about an hour or so, and I had to figure it out as I went along, but I've got that will be coming up next week, as well as me fumbling around with Cool Paint VR. Yeah, I'm never really any good at these sort of painting games or painting simulators, but there's nice little textures and a little play around with, to have fun with and having a look at. I don't think there's much more, but I think that's that. Oh, one last thing before I go, I just want to introduce you to a new member of the family. Now, a couple of days ago, we had the circus in town. Well, not circus, we had the fair in town. That was all right. We had the fair in town, and we managed to get won something from one of the attractions. And this is a new edition. Yes, the original Dark Lord, the proper Darth Vader. I think he's about 3 foot tall, this guy, and you might be seeing a little bit more of that guy later. Yes, none of this pussy Kylo Ren. I don't like that character. I mean, he's like a teenage angst version of Darth Vader. This guy is the real deal. He is the proper original Dark Lord, full helmet and everything. AA, none of that. But yeah. Well, I think that's that for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as we've enjoyed creating this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys out there.